So I thought I would do a quick review. How about that? Review. If you follow these videos at all, you'll know that I like old-fashioned, ancient methodologies, materials that have been used for, in some cases, hundreds of years. But I found some new materials that people have recommended that are by Meguiars. So here we have Meguiars Swirl Remover number 9. And over here, Meguiars Showcar Glaze number 7. I got them skeptically, and I have buffed out 3 different guitars now with the Meguiars. Particularly the number 9 is the new sort of love of my life at this point. If you know from the videos, I typically use diatomaceous earth in Tripoli with a drop of oil to buff out my French polishing. I found that when I used this stuff, it took it to a whole new level. I did my research. There is no silicone in either of these 2 products. There's no alcohol. It's very simple to use. Less is more, as I kind of like to say often. I use just a tiny, really just a little dab, and go to a particular section. Unlike French polishing, I'm not putting downward pressure. This is not a pressure, this is a buffing. What I find as I do this that's really cool is that the surface will get smoother and smoother, and therefore brighter and brighter. There is a small amount of compound. I even think it might be diatomaceous earth, but an abrasive in this that will buff your polish, whether a brand new polish or revive an old polish, to a really nice shine. It's kind of addictive because you do it once and you get a really nice surface. So you do it again, and it seems to go up as you go in terms of the shine level. So very simple. Don't use much. Start with a particular section. Move along. Put a little bit more on your pad, on your cloth, I should say, and keep going. Also, you can use the hand technique afterwards. So you've now finished, you've wiped down your piece of the remaining residue of the swirl remover. You'll feel that there's still a little bit of grit here, and you can use the hand buffing technique that we talked about in our French polishing series. It'll take you even to another level. The only thing I don't like about this, and this is unfair in a way, unlike what the name implies, it doesn't really remove swirls. If you find you have a little swirl in your polish, it's probably not abrasive enough to do it unless you put a lot of elbow grease into rubbing that spot out. My guess is that since it's used in the car world, where you're using a machine, a buffing machine, you can get out a swirl that way, but you're not going to do it very easily by hand unless it's a very minor swirl. So if you have a swirl or a real scratch, they're not going to come out with the compound. They will get perhaps smoothed out a little bit. The real beauty of this thing is that you just bring the whole thing up to a very smooth, very deep luster. The number 7 material, the Showcar Glaze, is really a shine product. It's designed in the car world to give the finish that sort of wet look. So there's nothing on here that will do any kind of make a permanent change to your finish. There must be some oil in there that adds just a real wet look. So it's a good clean and shine product. Again, no silicone, no alcohol, which is what I like. So it's basically something that you can use with some regularity just to bring up the shine, whereas this is something you're going to use either initially when you do a French polished finish or later on when you need to revive your finish, perhaps a few years later. It isn't something that you're going to do as a routine part of your maintenance. So you might want to try them out. You can probably get them in automotive parts stores or online, but I really have been happy with the results that I've gotten, and happy that Meguiars shows online the products that they make that have no silicone in them. So that's an important thing for me in my French polishing process. So enjoy and tell me if you use them what you think.